Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Kenya, and sorry for being inactive for a while. Anyways, get on to today's video. I will be doing this gel set that you see on the screen, and this is a two-part series. This first part is going to be how to prep your nails. I'll also be giving tips on how to do them properly to avoid any mistakes or lifting in the video. Alright, so on to this video. I actually lost some of the clips of me pushing back my cuticles and all those other things, but let's just start from here. I already pushed back my cuticles, trimmed my nails actually, and buffed the edge. Now I want to go in and trim the excess skin or dead cuticle that you see on my nails right now, and also the excess epinicum and hypernicum, as you can see on my screen. Now I'm using my cuticle trimmer. I prefer the trimmer to the scissors or nippers because it's just what I'm comfortable with. And as you can see, I'm going what I would say parallel to my cuticle area. That is, I'm not digging deep in, I'm just flat on my skin, going along with the dead skin, making sure not to go too deep or to go not too deep, if that makes any sense. Yes, and where I feel I'm going to deep, I just go out a bit and go over that area again, just to avoid cutting myself. And I also go over the hypernicum too and cut off any dead skin. This is to ensure that the nails do not lift or have any form of or any chance of lifting. So I'm just going over it again to make sure that every dead skin is removed from my nail and all the cuticle is buffed or scraped off. Yeah, as you can see, that's very clean and clear. And I'm doing the same thing for all the other nails. As you can see, I'm using the edge of the trimmer to scrape the white skin or the dead skin or the cuticle, whatever you call it. Then I'm going in to trim the dead skin away. Time when you are doing this part to avoid cutting your skin, and ensure that you do not go past the whitish part that you see, or the pale part rather, because it may not always look white on everybody's skin type, especially if you have darker skin tones. So try and go over the pale areas, and if you feel you didn't get everything, it's okay, you can always go over it, or just use a buffer to buff off the remaining cuticle. Alright, so as you can see, I have trimmed off all my cuticles and I'm dusting that off. Now I'm going with my buffer over the areas that I just did not cover with my cuticle trimmer. That is where there was any leftover cuticle or white part. I'm going over it with my buffer just to remove it. To size my tips. This part is very important because you need to make sure that your tips fit sidewall to sidewall and all around the cuticle area. As you can see, this one did not really fit snugly around my cuticle area, so I'm going to file it around that side, and I'm going back to fit it to make sure it fits properly. As you can see also, I am not pushing the tip on my nail, it's just sliding in directly because it's my perfect size, and that is what you want to do. You want to make sure that it's your perfect size all around your nail. As you can see, it fits now, and that's really good. So I'll be going on to my other tips and I'll be sizing them too. Where you want to make sure it fits your nail properly. Now there's this technique that you have to look at the curve of your nail, and the curve of your nail must match the curve of your tip. That is, the curve of this tip that I'm holding right now is quite flat, if I may say, but my cuticle area of my natural nail is not, is more curved than the tip. So what you do in this kind of situation is that you bend or mold the tip to fit your own nail, because if it does not fit it, it will lead to spillage at the cuticle area and therefore cause the lifting of your nails. So this important tip is that you make sure that the curve of your tips align with the curve of your natural nails on every aspect. We also have natural tips and sculpted tips for those that have different types of curve on their nails. However, I'll explain that more in another video. Now I'm going in to buff the inside of my nails. This is just to make sure that I get maximum adhesion on the nails. Exactly, I'm going in with the buffer. I actually just tore a portion of the buffer from the stick, from the file itself, and I used it to etch the inside of my tip. You can use a nail drill or an e-file if you have, but I just decided to use this method instead. Now I'm going with a normal file. This is an 8080 grit file, and I am filing the outside of the tip to make it smooth. I'm going in with my wipe soaked in alcohol and acetone to make sure that my nails are properly dehydrated. It's just a 50% mix of alcohol and 50% mix of acetone over the whole nail to make sure that it's very clean. This is how it looks. Now I'm going in with my primer. This is the Ease Flow primer, and I'm going in, I use a little portion of it, and I don't spread it everywhere because primer spreads. It's an acidic primer and it spreads, so I don't use that everywhere. I'm just going over it sparingly. This is my first coat of primer. I do 2 coats of primer on my nails. And that's how it looks. Now I'm going with my base coat from OPI. I used a little portion of this and I am scrubbing this in. I'm using little of it. I don't want to use too much. This is not where you apply much of the base coat. I'm just using a little portion of it over the entirety of my nail bed. This one you need to spread everywhere. It's not like primer that will spread. You have to spread it on its own. I am going in with my Vinimade nail tip gel glue, and I am spreading it over my tip. Now, point of notice, I buffed my tip to a certain extent. The extent to which I buffed my tip is exactly where my nail bed ends. And as you can see, as I apply this glue, I'm only applying it over the exact place where my nail bed ends. Notice also that I only use one side of the glue to glue up my tips. So I'm going in a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to stop where my natural nail ends. As you can see, I have glued that first tip on. Now I'm going to do the same for the rest of my nails, and I'll come back to this video. Now I've done the rest of my tips, and as you can see, it already looks so smooth. The cuticle area looks well blended in already, and I really don't need to do much. Now on to the excess or overflow. I'm going to use a cuticle stick. I'm using a resin cuticle stick to clean the excess gel off my nails. I'm also going over the outer corner where there was any spillage. You need to remove this to avoid any form of lifting later on. Now I'm going in to cure this in the big lamp for 60 seconds. I'm using a low temperature setting. If your lamp has this, good for you. If it doesn't, I don't know what to say. And this is how it looks. I'm going in to blend and do my application in the second part of this video, so follow and like for more.